Are you nuts?
Good morning, everyone. This is Financial Literacy 101, and today we're going to talk about NIO, Tesla, and Plug. But most likely, we're going to talk about a lot more than that. I won't be before you long. I got about 20 minutes before I go into a meeting, or rather, I have to get off because of somebody else's meeting, somebody else working the office with me. But nonetheless, I just want to show you guys my portfolio. I'm doing horrible right now. Okay, horrible. Which is a great thing. Let me explain why this is a great thing for a lot of you guys. Now, if you notice my portfolio late last week, early this week, Monday, I was up to $23,000. So in this past week, I've only made in the past week, they said I'm down $2,400 in the past week, okay? So right now the market is what you call a market correction, a market pullback, but it's been kind of doing this for the past 2 or 3 days. I really haven't done too much in my portfolio to lose this amount of money now. And I bought some options that are not doing very well, as you can tell over here on my fuel cell option. And these suckers right here, they actually sold off. They're selling off, I think, 30 million of their shares so they can get more money so they can keep their organization running. NIO, I know you guys, I'm waiting for NIO to hit 54. I don't know if NIO is going to bounce back that strongly, back up to $50. Or to rather get the $54 in order for me to make some money on this option. I don't know, but it seems as though I'm going to wait until this option absolutely expires. Now, GE, this option is not until March 2021, so I have a lot of time to make really good money on that. These are the two options that I'm worried about, mostly fuel cell, and then second with NIO. But as you can tell in the past week, I have not been doing so well. But again, I did say this is a great thing. Why is this a great thing? Right now, the market is just taking a dump. Okay, the market is losing a lot of the S&P 500 are doing a lot of weird things today, but that's great because then you guys can go in right now. Let me show you this. For a lot of you guys who wanted to get into NIO, look how much NIO costs. NIO is at $44. Okay, NIO is at $44, and I know what you guys are going to ask me. Do I believe NIO is going to reach $50 again? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. NIO is still doing great things. A lot of times in these, they'll have some news stories about NIO pulled back. But it says right here, NIO stock surges as November 2020 delivers more than double. Any pertinent news, Robinhood is tending to do a great job in putting them headline news right here on that stock listing. So you don't have to go to all these websites. Like I go to MarketWatch, I go to Benzinga, all these particular things. Right here it says NIO says deliveries more than double in November. So NIO is still doing well. This is the time where investors kind of get weary, like large, huge, billion-dollar investors kind of get weary that the stock market is doing too good. And what they start to do is they start getting to the investors and their brokers and they say, hey, is my stock portfolio overvalued? And their investment broker, their analysts will say, oh, well, I don't think this stock is going to do that well. And they start to sell off not 100 or 1,000. They start to sell off millions of shares of different stocks. Now, why is that important? Because depending on what stock market they're listed on, the NASDAQ, the New York Stock Exchange, or the S&P 500, guess what? That will mainly affect those markets. Okay, that will mainly affect those markets. So that's why you're seeing a lot of red in your portfolios. Like I was up like 170, 160% right here. Now I'm only down to 103%, but I'm still in the green when it comes to NIO. But that has affected my whole entire portfolio when I'm talking about all the money that, currently I'm down. Again, you only lose money when you sell a share at a lower price point than when you bought it at. So even with Plug Power, I was up to over $1,000 in earnings in Plug Power. What did I do this morning? I'll show you. I went in and I bought more Plug Power because it was down. So you have to think in opposite. I know somebody, I'm not going to buy when it's down. That's exactly what you want to do. Look at this morning. 26 minutes ago, I went in and I allocated another $51 into Plug Power. Because again, when this stock bounced back, and it will, I'm going to make that much more money in large percentages because I'm buying at a low price point, okay? Because right now, Plug Power is what? Still 20, or it went down to $24 to $26. It's down almost 2% for today. So that's really, really well, okay? So we talk about Plug Power, we talk about NIO, and let's talk about Tesla, okay? Let's talk about Tesla. I know a lot of you guys are in love with Tesla. I am too. Even because, NIO and Tesla are essentially in competition. It is not because NIO is in America, because NIO is not in America, but Tesla is in China. So essentially, you got XPeng, that's XPENG, or their ticker is XPEV, was an electric car maker in China. Then you also have NIO, you have LI Auto, and then you have Tesla in China. So a lot of these stocks, they're competing in this Chinese market. And I don't know if America will ever allow Chinese vehicles over here. I hope, because they'll be more affordable, okay? And again, we get into whether you guys believe that the Chinese stocks or the Chinese products are of great quality. Let me tell you something. This is just my personal experience when I went over there and I got some things made. It depends on the manufacturer and developer that you get to make your product in China. A lot of Chinese businesses make really, really solid and really, really good products. I mean, my electric scooter came from China. It's a solid product. I'm a heavy guy, and I've been jumping off curbs and all types of stuff with my particular scooter. It hasn't fallen apart yet, okay? My reclining movie chairs, they're so far so good. I haven't used them that much, but they look of good quality. So it just depends on the manufacturing. Quite frankly, most of the things that you have in your house, it doesn't matter if it has LG, Samsung, Sony on it. It's probably still created and put together in China. So we got to get out the narrative that China make cheap stuff. It just depends on the manufacturer that you actually have that product with. So we're talking about $1 billion market. More than $1 billion considerably when you're talking about 1.2, 1.3 billion people in China. And that's imperative for you guys to understand, because that's why Tesla can go over into China and sell vehicles, because they have 1 billion something people. I want you to put this into perspective. America only has 330 million people. Let me see the Chinese population. Let me give you some better context with that. Let me just look this up very quickly. Okay, they're almost up to 1.4 billion people. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Let me blow this up. Look at this. This is the Chinese population right here. They're almost at 1.4 billion. India is right behind them at 1.3. And look at America, 327 million people. So we're even under the 330. But we like to round up. So 330, we got 330 million people in America. Okay, that's 3 times the amount of people in China. Now, I don't know the poverty level in China, but let me tell you something. They're doing so well in China that now pay wages in China are actually going up. So take, for instance, if they were paying pennies on a dollar, now they're probably paying 2 pennies on a dollar. But nonetheless, what that means is it's kind of like raising the bar. That means more people can afford more expensive products in that company. And it's mainly because of the Western world. Because America, Europe, we're the largest consumers, but mostly Americans, we're the largest consumer of anything. And most of that stuff is made where? In China. So that helps their economy, because they're creating jobs, which essentially decreases their homelessness rate and also people living in low poverty. Because if we can keep creating jobs for China, and I know this can get in, this can get into politics, because this is the one thing that Donald Trump was trying to stop. And when you start talking politics, people get upset, and But I'm talking about business, okay? And this was what Donald Trump was trying to do, is keep a lot of businesses in America so we can create those jobs here rather than outsourcing, okay? Rather than outsourcing to China. And I totally understand that, but we have to put some things into perspective when it comes to business. So take, for instance, right, to get my t-shirts made, right? If I go with an American company, they say, we'll make 100 of those t-shirts from you, but we want, for every t-shirt you sell for $20, we want $8. They're almost taking 50% of my profit. You're not going to get rich like that. You're not going to make really any good money. You got overhead, you got design teams, you got all this other stuff, right? So you go to China and say, hey, we'll make 100 of those t-shirts and we only want $1.50. You like $1.50 because they're paying hardly nothing in materials. They're paying hardly nothing for labor for people to actually do it. So that's why a lot of businesses, big and small, go to China and actually get things made. If anything, they go over there and actually get things designed, because just think about it. You try to find somebody on Fiverr, you try to find somebody on Upwork, they're charging you American prices for their work. Not so much Fiverr. You can get away with a lot of good things with Fiverr. I like Fiverr versus Upwork, but Upwork is more for larger projects and programs of that nature. So we have to look into investments the same way how these tie into the different markets, okay? How these tie into the different markets. So when we're looking at a Tesla, we have to look at the market. Regardless of what the stock is doing right now, this is the perfect time for you guys to go in and start to buy, baby, buy. No, I'm kidding. But no, the point I'm making is this is the time that you actually go in, you make some money. Let me pop up this Plug Power really quickly, okay? Because I love Plug Power. Now, I know I gave you guys our stock fuel cell the other day, but I told you you're not going to make money with fuel cell up until like 2022, okay? 2022, maybe even 2023. So if you want to make money now, okay, if you want to make money now, Plug Power and probably Bloom Energy is where you want to be. Plug Power and Bloom Energy is where you want to be. Because these companies right here, they're not niche companies. They're dealing in large markets. Now, Fuel Cell Energy is dealing in both of the markets that Bloom Energy and Plug Power, but then they also have their little spot that they're dealing in niche. And right now, they're not doing so well, okay? They're not doing so well. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, we talked about Plug Power as far as they're in hydrogen and fuel cell systems, okay? They're in hydrogen and fuel cell systems. So when I go over to Fuel Cell Energy, let me show you some headlines. Let me see if Robinhood will pop up some headlines here. I think I was on here earlier. They didn't pop up. They gave me some news earlier about fuel cell. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is so if you got fuel cell, this is important because you might want to know right here. See, no Fuel Cell Energy. Give me 1 second, guys. All right. Right here, it says Fuel Cell Energy announces launch of offering of common stock, while Plug Power, Bloom Energy, Fuel Cell Energy stocks plunged today. But mostly, let's see, Plug Power, Fuel Cell Energy, and Blink charging stocks and apply volatility for fuel cell. Let's see if this is the one. Because they're doing a massive sell-off, okay? And they need more money to still conduct their business. This is not the one. I'm not going to bore you guys with trying to look for this story. I had it up earlier. I'm sorry I lost it. But let's get into Plug Power and Bloom Energy, okay? I know you guys, you see Blink charging up here. That stock has been doing fairly well, but they're getting into, the Motley Fool is getting into why they have been doing poorly, okay? Why they've been doing poorly. Now, I said Plug stock is down at a disheartening 7%. Fuel Cell has fallen 8.3%, and Blink is faring worst of all, down 10.5%. It says, so what? Why are these stocks down today? There's no obvious answer to that question aside from skittish investors. Remember, I came on, I said investors are just like, oh, I think the market, the whole entire market. And this would we kind of get into when investors make too much money too quickly. Okay, two things. Let me just give you this information here. Investors either made too much money too quickly from what they predicted, or they're shortening the entire stock market. Because anytime you have millions of shares, you can short a stock. You can just go in and sell it off like boop, and the stock is just going to drop because now they have an increase in volume. We're saying the stock is not that valued. Okay, the less stock that an organization have, the stock price, it drives the stock price up. Let me say that a little bit better. So take for instance Plug Power. Let's say Plug Power became public and they had 1 million shares for investors anywhere to buy. So investors can continue to keep buying, 100,000 shares, 200,000 shares. So because of the volume is decreasing, the value of the stock goes up. So anytime investors get weary or scary, or I don't know, they need to buy, a yacht, they sell off their 100,000 shares. So the stock value goes down because the volume goes up. Okay, it's kind of like, hey man, we only got 3 of these left. You might want to get yours before they run out. You get what I'm trying to say, how when people are low in inventory, it drives prices up. And the only people, the top 3 people can buy that product. The same things with investing. So as the volume of stocks decreases, the stock price usually goes up. And then, in reverse, it happens the same way. The more shares that they have drives the price down. So that's the way that you need to look at that, okay? So let's get back into this one very quickly. Now, it says from skittish investors, as I stated before. The fact is, the only news and evidence so far this week directly touching any of these 3 stocks is the announcement yesterday afternoon from investment bank Roth Capital Partners that it raised its price target on Plug Power stock. It raised its price target on Plug Power stock. So if it raised its stock price, why in the hell did it drop down to $24? Because if you raise the stock price, that means that's good. So analysts say, hey, Plug Power is worth more than, what the stock is right now. I digress. What else do we have here? You would think no matter how tenuous the analyst argument, Plug Power fans would be happy to hear that. But in fact, investors are doing the opposite and selling Plug Power. See, this is kind of when I read stories like this, it kind of makes me think that there's a couple gentlemen who control the stock market. And this is how they use a ploy. And I'm not speaking conspiracy theories. I'm just speaking a possible outcome. I'm speaking about a possible outcome. There are a few gentlemen can actually see analysts putting a price target on a Plug Power, say, oh, right now they're $26, but I can see them at 35. They're like, nah, you know what? I got 2 million. I want Plug Power to reach 35. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell off Plug Power. It's going to plunge 5 to 10%. When it plunged down to 8%, back double because I have more money with the same money I did from Plug Power. It's kind of like this. Let me help you guys out. I had NIO all the way up to $54. Okay? And then NIO plunged down to $40. $40 NIO dropped down to. But if I would have sold NIO at my $54 and then waited to drop to $40, I would have bought, 1.5 the amount back. I would have bought the regular amount of shares at 150 shares, probably another 50 to 60, maybe even 80 shares with the same amount of money. This is how you become rich. This is how you make a lot of money off investment. This is why day trading is so volatile, because day traders, they'll make 1 or 2 trades a day or 1 or 2 trades a week. Okay, that's all they will do. Okay, they will go in there, they'll buy 1,000 shares of something. They will look at the market, they'll look at the indicators, and then as soon as they feel as though there's going to drop, they sell off the shares, right? And then when it does drop, they buy it before it upticks. When you're looking at your candlesticks, your RSIs, your moving averages, things of that nature, and then they buy more before it upticks. This is how they get more shares. This is how their stock portfolio increases in value. Okay? So let's look at one more thing. Let's look at NIO. We already talked about Tesla. Okay? So NIO, right now, NIO is $43. Let me show you something. Where is it at? NIO was all the way up to $54, like I said, right? Then NIO, look at NIO, dropped down to $40. So think about what I'm just saying. If you would have sold all of your NIO when it was $54 and then bought it back at $40, are you kidding? That's a $14 profit that you would have then again went back in and bought more shares of NIO. So if you had like 150 shares, I think I got 149. Yeah, I have 149.5. Okay. I would have probably added anywhere from 30 to 60 more shares of NIO. And then NIO is still scheduled. People still talking about NIO still going to hit $100. Do I know when? Absolutely not. Okay. So that's pretty much what I have for you guys today. I'm going to read some of your notes and I'm going to get out of here. Okay. All right. Excuse me. We got Nolan Baptiste. Good morning, good sir. We got Fire Sign. Thank you for joining in. We got JJJ, I think. You think NIO is bouncing back? I absolutely do. And thank you, Nolan Baptiste, for moderating today. Hey, guys, it's Financial Literacy 101. I do stock reviews Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. For a lot of my regulars, I decreased it because I'm going to start just giving you regular financial information on Tuesdays and Thursdays, okay? And don't forget, tomorrow night at 7 p.m., I'll be live as well, so you guys will see more of my pretty face. But anyway, I might be on later today and give you some information. I did a quick video last night about this whole restaurant called True Kitchen in Dallas. Okay, True Kitchen in Dallas. I think I want to talk more about that to you guys. So tune in for that. I see you guys on the next one. Learn money and be inspired. Have a great day.